Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2, and here I am with a new thing. Imagine that. Ah! New things! Video game review. Uh, I picked up Journey, and I really didn't know what to expect. I had read quite a bit about it, and I'd seen screen grabs of it, and I thought, this is different. Let me see what this is all about, and let me see what everybody's been raving so much about, and this is actually a sleeper. And now I can see why. It's truly a really magnificent game. It's beautiful. It's got this immersion about it, and it's spiritual in a way, if I can say that without sounding kind of cliche. Um, you move around as this sage-like character, kind of. Not sure what. He kind of reminds me of Black Mage for some strange. Maybe it's just because of the clothing. But then again, there's a part of me, the Whovian part of me, that would equivocate him to the fourth incarnation of the Doctor, because you can go around the game and you can collect from a scarf, and the scarf will grow longer, indicating knowledge that he's gained, I believe. This is how I interpreted it. And then he can use the scarf pieces that he's collected, and he can build bridges, or he can unlock different areas and continue in his journey of self-discovery. And along the way, he goes into a deep trance, and in the trance, he sees his mentor. I say, this is the sage. I call him the sage. And the sage will speak to him telepathically, and he'll get a vision of what he, or an oracle of the next puzzle that he's supposed to complete. But I would love, I'm actually going to do a fan art of this, because I can definitely see the Fourth Doctor going around and collecting fragments of a scarf and just growing the scarf out longer and longer and longer ad infinitum. As is the universe, so is the Doctor. But I just have to say that. I know it sounds really dorky, but it's just the philosophical side of me just rambling about like it often does. I I'm so sorry I'm profound. I can't hold back that part of my fiber, my intellect, or just my being is just who I am. Um, Second game I would like to go into is, of course, Doctor Who: The Eternity Clock. And so far, I'm really loving this game. At the very beginning, you're given control of the Doctor, and of course, it's all about puzzles. And if you know anything about me, puzzles are one thing that makes my world tick and function. I'm not. I really can't consider myself the best at puzzles, but I'm fairly good. I mean, I could probably hold my own in a competition, but I wouldn't consider myself a genius. But these puzzles are relatively simple, and they don't really take that long to figure out. If you know the mechanics of physics, and you can figure out that a heavy object can crush a light object, and it can open another area, then you're golden. Actually, I gave a little bit of a spoiler away for the first part of this game, so pay no heed to what I just said. I'm so sorry, so bad. But in the second part, you get to play River Song, and I love, 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 love River Song. And actually, one of my screen names is River Song on ICQ. It just proves my obsession with this show. I'm not really upset. I mean, I have a life outside Doctor Who and Star Trek and Star Wars and Firefly and Sliders and Lois and Clark and a lot of other TV shows I can't mention right off the top of my head. But yes, I do have an existence outside of all this, and I can say that I have a healthy life, and I'm not one of those people that is a purist. Um, but the game itself, I really enjoy, and I'm gonna get a little bit deeper into it as I go on, and see where it leads me. I'm the same way about where's that going? Where's that coming from? Who's doing that? Oh! It's coming from my Indian friend. Ugh. He's got such a crush on me. Sorry about that. But anyway, the next couple of games I want to talk about are The Last Story and Xenoblade Chronicles. I never played any of the. Well, I did play Xenogears growing up, which was my absolute favorite RPG of all time. Sorry, I just love that game and the battle music and everything about it. And Shaitan was my absolute favorite character. I don't know what it is about doctors, but oh lordy, is he hot! I wanted that doctor badly. Yeah, he can check me up anytime he wants. But anywho, moving on. Xenoblade Chronicles. Now you know a little bit about my my love affair with scientists and doctors and all people of intelligence. Intelligence is a very sexy thing to me. It's very much alluring, and it's a terrific turn on for myself. And just give me a topic about physics or inverse theory, and I am putty in your hands. Um, and moving on. I'm sorry, I tend to do that, but I was just dreaming. What if he really existed? Oh, I would be in heaven. I mean, we would just talk about physics all day long. Uh, this is my dream conversation. But amongst other things, not just physics, but there could be a multitude of conversations we could have. But the game itself I really enjoy, and it's got great controls and everything, and the story's outstanding. But I think the last story even goes one step above it, because as far as I can see, Xenoblade Chronicles follows your kind of typical RPG format. Well, this actually reminds me more of you've got your mechanoids versus your homs, or earthlings. Well, hominids, which would be human beings, but it makes sense. It just makes complete sense. And last story I haven't really gotten that much into, but I think that the graphics and gameplay of last story are even better than Xenoblade. Just because it's more involved and it's just beautiful, and I love how fluid the sword action is, and when you initiate attack with it, it's just seamless motion, and it works just like actual wielding of a sword would. But I'm using classic controller, but it's still, to me, it works perfectly with the physics of how that would operate within reality in the real world. Last game I want to go into, and I know this is just a jumbled review of Miscellany, but the last review I want to do is Little Big Planet 2. Now, this game is amazing. It is the Imaginator's ultimate playground. You can do anything with it, and I don't have the ability to create anything myself, or if I would, I would definitely do some sci-fi related stuff. And if someone hasn't already done a Tolkien or C.S. Lewis version, I would do a couple of levels based on that, maybe some literary things, but I could come up with a myriad of different ideas for Little Big Planet that I could implement. And I just don't have the time, because I have a real life, and I have a real job, and I have real problems. Well, not real problems. I don't really have problems, but I have no problems. I have projects. Well, not by projects. I'm talking about the things I write, the things I draw, the parodies that I come up with when I'm driving wherever. And I'm just a busy little beaver. It keeps me occupied, and keeps me from going completely insane. But that's kind of freaky when I said that. But Little Big Planet is the most innovative game I've seen in a long time, since Journey and the games that are offered on Journey. Actually, one of the games is, that I enjoy is called Flow, And it kind of reminds me of the last part of Leela. If anybody out there has played Leela knows what I'm talking about. It is the intuition level. When you unlock all the other levels and you get to intuition, well, since it's Connect, and I know this is going to look really dorky, but you move by flapping. I know that sounds really, really weird, but it's very calming, and it's just this kind of surreal experience, and it reminds me of a lot of dreams I've had um, that are similar to this, and that's what's so intriguing about that. And flowers, also along the same line. Flowers, beautiful. They're all really well, not really simplistic, but they just are very calming video games, which you don't really see a lot of. You see more of the games like Halo, which, by the way, I love Halo. And I like the idea of the catharsis that Halo gives me, so as well as a lot of the fighting games that I enjoy, like Persona 4 Arena and Tekken versus Street Fighter. Just the whole line of games in this sort of genre that have verses within the title with different known established uh, heavy hitters. Sorry, that was really stupid that I said that, but you know what I mean. But all these games I think are very unique in their own way, and they've all deserved high marks from me. And I've really enjoyed them, and I'm really looking forward over the weekend to delve more into everything that I've said, including my RPGs, because I love RPGs. I have ever since I was little. Xenogears was, well, I got into Dungeons and Dragons when I was in college, and I always play the role of a magician. Yeah, like you wouldn't know that. Or, now that I know about theurgic clerics, I would be a theurgic cleric since I know a little bit of arcana. And not only that, but I'm very useful in many situations, and other people can be helped by me or whatever I may have under my sleeve. So I'm very, very, very strategic in anything that I do. It's just the way I operate. But like I said, I usually would play an enchantress, and I'd heal people if they had if they were wounded, or I could revive people. Um, Again, I'm a useful component. You always got to have a magician in your team because you never know when you're gonna die, or you never know when you're gonna have low hit points or whatever. Um, but then again, you can have a really cruel dungeon master that throws you out of the game if something happens and your character dies and you have to sit on the bench. It stinks, but I never had that happen. Uh, let's see. I've always liked role playing games. I can say that Xenogears, yeah, was probably my first. Well, no. Excuse me, Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 3, as it was known here. Well, actually, it's Final Fantasy 6 over in Japan. But my favorite fantasy video game character of all time have to be Tara Bradford. I really relate quite a bit to her. I can say that I can understand what it's like to be misunderstood, kind of shunned because of the type of person that I am and the abilities that I possess. And I don't try to come across as a person who knows everything because I know I don't. I'm not a person who puts other people down. No, I don't do that. But I can't handle stupidity very well. I'll tolerate it. I will tolerate stupidity. But back in the back of my head, I'm going, no, why are you doing that? No, no, no. You've evolved past that. Stop. Will you please? For the love of all that's holy, and don't. And I see a lot of that happening where I'm working, but I've just tend to let it go, and that's why I always think about other things in the back of my head that keep me occupied. But as far as those games are concerned, I've really enjoyed them massively, and I have to say that I'm just really impressed with the graphics. They're all different in their own way. They're all puzzles. Well, the RPG, yeah, I guess you could say the RPGs are puzzle in a way, but you get yourself thrown into a world, more of an escape, and that's what makes it fun, I think. And it's just really a wonderful, wonderful way to engage your mind. And as for me, it's helping me write this story. It's called Endara, that I'm not quite done with it yet, but I will be in the near future, hopefully. Uh, and I can say that I wasn't always a Whovian. Um, what started me as a Whovian was the episode Vampires in Venice, and I know I shouldn't have started with that episode, but what can I say? I was curious, and I wanted to see what all the hype and the buzz was about, so I watched it, fell in love with it, and I already liked time travel, so it was probably the main thing that just yanked me right in. And then I started from the Christopher Eccleston time onward. But I'm looking forward to playing Eternity Clock all the way through. Well, if I can get through the stinking second level, because the second level is kind of challenging because you have to hide from the guards and you have to sneak up on them and kiss them to disarm them. Well, actually, put them into a state of deep sleep. Actually, I think she has the ability to paralyze. Well, paralyze sounds a bit harsh, but I think her kiss has paralyzing effects. So once she kisses them, they're out like a light. They're not coming back. They don't die, but they're asleep. But I'll hopefully I can get a little bit further than where I am right now because I'm in trouble. Maybe I should go to a walkthrough. I don't like doing walkthroughs, but that's all I have to say. I'm sorry I rambled on too much, but uh, I would recommend any of those games for anybody, and especially if you're a fan of just games that are different and unique, and they stand out on their own, and they don't follow the matting crowd, so to speak. And it's nice to see something like that that's a standalone title and doesn't garner attention to itself like Assassin's Creed, which is Assassin's Creed is. I've never played it, but it looks really cool. I probably would like it though. I would probably enjoy it because I like the whole idea that's behind it. But I have enjoyed everything that I've played so far, and I look forward to having more time to spend to play these games in the future.